Hi, I'm Scott Willison from the Confluence Fly Shop in Bellingham, Washington. It is late summer, mid-fall. Lots of folks are out chasing summer steelhead, particularly over east of the mountains, and I'm going to share with you today what has been one of my favorite summer steelhead flies over the years. Like a lot of summer run patterns, features a lot of dark colors, blacks, blues, purples, proven color scheme for summer steelhead throughout the West. This is one that a buddy of mine, Shawn, came up with years and years ago. We've been fishing it for a long time. It's proven effective all sorts of places, including west side rivers like the Cowlitz, or back when we had a summer steelhead fishery on the North Fork of the Stilliguamish, was a great pattern there as well. This is a fly we've just referred to as the Lil Bruiser, and it's got kind of a bruised black and blue color scheme. So in my vise I have an Aquaflies Aqua Talon salmon steelhead hook in a size 6. You could essentially tie this on any traditional steelhead hook that you like. And for thread today, I am using the Semperfli A. Classic Blacks. I really like using a smaller thread on these steelhead flies. It's going to help you to get those nice, neat little heads that are aesthetically pleasing. So I've just tied in a little bit of gold and silver mylar tinsel. We're going to put a tag on this one. This is a completely optional step, but I like the way it looks, so we're going to do it. This mylar tinsel is gold on one side, silver on the other. I've taken care to tie it in with the gold side facing up so that when I take a couple of wraps, it will be the silver side that we see. And I just took 3 wraps of that. And then we can go ahead and tie that off. For the tail on this one, you could certainly use just red saddle hackle fibers, but I really like the way this red dyed golden pheasant tippet looks on there, so we're going to go ahead and use that. And we'll just snip some fibers off the feather. Make sure they're roughly even. Do a loose wrap to capture those fibers. I've got one weird one in there that was not cooperating, so we'll just pluck that out of there. And that'll do it for our tail. Now for our ribbing material, I'm going to use a size medium uni French oval tinsel in a silver. And I'm going to tie this in right behind the return loop so that we get a nice uniform body and consistent taper to it. Now here's where I'm going to do something a little differently than you often see on steelhead flies. I'm actually going to tie the wing in first before I do the body. This is a way I've found when you're trying to trim a hair wing on a fly, it's really tough to trim it precisely and still get that wing securely in place so that the fibers don't pull out. So I've got a little trick I like to get the wings the way I like it. And we're going to show you that here. So for our wing, we are going to use bucktail. Now this is a royal blue or navy blue, dark blue. All of them work bucktail, but we're not going to use this bright stuff around the edges here. We're going to use this hair that's in the middle that is a much darker color. Now when you get this in the light, you'll still see some of that blue shining through, but it's not going to be quite as bright. It'll be a little more subdued. So I've just clipped off a little bit of hair here. I'm going to first grab it and just pull any of the short stuff out from the butts. And then I'm going to pop that in my hair stacker here, tips first. And we'll give that a few taps on the base of the vise and get those tips roughly aligned. I don't need them to be perfect, but I want them somewhat aligned. Got a couple weird random long ones in there we'll pull out. Okay, and then I want this wing to go back not quite to the end of the tail, almost to the end of the tail, but not quite. So I'm going to roughly measure that out on the hook, and then we can go ahead and trim down these butt ends here. And we're going to tie that in roughly over the return loop. Took a couple loose wraps there because I might do some adjusting yet. And then I'm checking that wing that's a little longer than what I would like. So we're just going to move it back just a tiny little bit. Got our loose wraps. Still not quite where I want it. And I'm not right up against the eye. I want to leave myself a little room for a head. And I think we got our sizing where I want it on the wing. So we can trim away these butt ends here. And I'll just kind of wrap down over that. And there, you can see that's right out over the eye. When we go to finish the fly, we're just going to build up a little thread in front of it. That's also going to help to keep that wing popped up, which is going to stabilize the fly really nicely when it's swimming in the water. So for the body, we are going to use just black Angora dubbing, Angora goat dubbing. And we'll just kind of twist that to get it started on the thread. And then I'm going to build a slight little bit of taper. We'll need more dubbing here, so we can add it. And I'm not going to dub quite all the way to the wing because we're going to add some hackle in there too. Got a little extra piece that doesn't want to cooperate, so I'll just trim that off. You can do this before or after, but I really like the look of kind of a buggy body, so just taking a brush to it to kind of tease some of that dubbing out gives it a look that I like. And then we'll go ahead and just wrap our rib up front. Usually try to get about 4 turns with that. And then because we've got a little bit of bulk on top of the hook where we tied in that wing, I'm actually going to tie the rib off underneath the hook just to conserve some space. Now we are ready for our hackle. And for a hackle today I selected just a purple saddle hackle. I've done these with purple dyed guinea. Purple dyed golden pheasant breast works really nicely. It gives you kind of a little darker hue of purple. And we're tying this in so that the curve of the feather is curving over the hook. That way this hackle is going to sweep back when I wrap it. And we'll just kind of get those fibers trained back with our fingers a little bit. I'll get 1, 2, 2.5, 3 turns of hackle. Don't overdo it on the hackle. It's gonna swim better, and this fly will have some movement if you go a little bit lighter. So there, we've got our hackle secured, and now we're just gonna sweep everything back. I'll take a wrap in front with the thread, but I'm gonna kind of pull that back, and we'll just start getting some thread wraps built up. Sometimes you have to kind of flatten it with your fingers a little bit so you can get a turn or 2 over that wing. There we go. I've got it captured. And then we can go ahead and whip finish. And then at this point, you can finish it with your favorite head cement, Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. Today I've got some Solarez ultra thin bone dry handy. So we're just gonna brush those thread wraps. Make sure we didn't get any in the eye. If you do get head cement in the eye, if you've got a feather feather handy, you could just run that through. That'll clear it out perfectly and you're good to go. So all right, and there we have an exceptional performing little steelhead fly. This one works great all summer long, especially into the fall. Pretty good one with the sea run cutthroat too. So tie up a few next time you get a chance. You can find the materials for the Lil Bruiser at the Confluence Fly Shop. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, and we hope to see you in the shop or on the water. Thanks for watching.